Official Rules of Softball. Rules 9 to 12. Rules 9. Dead ball. Ball and play. Section 1. The ball is dead. What is the ball is dead? Let us watch the example of ball is dead in softball. The ball is dead and not in play is when the ball is bat illegally. When the batter steps from one box to another when the pitcher is FP only, taking the signal or appears to be taking the signal from the pitcher's plate, or SP only, steps on the pitching plate. When no pitch is declared. When a pitch ball touches any part of the batter's persons of clothing, whether the ball is struck at or not. When a foul fly ball is not caught. When the offensive team causes interference. When a fair bat ball strikes an umpire or a runner. Note: when he is hit by a fair, untouched bat ball while in contact with his base, unless he intentionally interferes with the ball, or a fielder making a play, the ball will become dead or remains alive, depending on the positions of the fielder closest to the base. Next, the ball in play. What is the ball in play? The ball in play in the following circumstances. At the start of the game, in each half inning, when the pitcher has the ball while standing in his pitching position and the plate umpire has called play ball. Another, when the infield fly rules are enforced. When a thrown ball goes past as a fielder and remains in play ball territory. When a fair ball strikes an umpire or runner on fair ground after passing a fielder, excluding the pitcher, and no other fielder had a chance to make an out, or touching a fielder, including the pitcher. When a fair ball strikes an umpire on foul ground. When the runners have reached the base to which they are entitled after the fielder illegally field a bat, thrown, or pitch ball. When a runner is called out for passing a preceding runner, dead expectations. When a runner is called out for passing a preceding runner while the ball is dead, the ball will remain dead. When no play is being made on an obstructed runner, the ball shall remain alive until the play is over. When a fair ball is legally bat, delayed dead ball. There are 5 situations when a violation of the rules occurs. An umpire recognizes it and the ball remain alive until the conclusions of the play. These situations are an illegal pitch, B. Catcher obstructions, FP only, plate umpire interference, obstruction, detached equipments contacting a thrown ball, a pitch ball, or a fair bat ball. Rules 10 Umpires. Section 1. Power and duties. The umpires are the representatives of the league or organizations by which they have been assigned to particular game, and as such are authorized and required to enforce each section of these rules. They have the power to order a player, coach, captain, or manager to do or omit to do any act which is their judgment is necessary to give force and effect to one or all of these rules, and to inflict penalties as herein prescribed. The plate umpire shall have the authority to make a decision on any situations not specifically covered in the rules. General information for umpires. The umpire shall not be a member of either team, example, player, coach, manager, officer, scorer, or sponsor. The umpire should be sure of date, time, place for the game, and should arrive at the playing field 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time. Start the game on time and leave the field when the game is over. The male and female umpire must wear a powder blue long or short sleeve shirt, dark navy blue socks, dark navy blue slacks, dark navy blue cap with white and blue trim ISF letters of the front, dark navy blue ball bag, dark navy blue jacket and or sweater, black shoes and belt. As white t-shirt worn under the powder blue shirt. Umpire must not wear exposed jewelry that may pose a hazard. Section 2. The plate umpire. The plate umpire shall take a position in back of the catcher. He shall have full charge of and be responsible for the proper conduct of the game. Shall call all balls and strikes. Shall by agreements and in cooperation with the base umpire call plays, hit balls, fair or foul, legal or illegal, called balls. On plays that would necessitate the base umpire leaving the infield, the plate umpire shall assume the duties normally required of the base umpire. Shall determine and declare whether a batter bunts or chops a ball. A bat ball touches the persons or clothing of the batter. Shall render base decisions when required to do so. Shall determine when a game is forfeited. Shall assume all duties when assigned as a single umpire to a game. Section 3. The base umpire shall take such positions on the playing field as required in accordance with the relevant umpire systems. Shall assist the plate umpire in every way to enforce the rules of the game. Section 4. Responsibilities of a single umpire. If only one umpire is assigned, his duties and jurisdictions shall extend to all points. The umpire's starting position for each pitch shall be from behind home plate. On each bat, ball, or play that develops, the umpire shall move out from behind the plate and into the infield to obtain the best positions for any play that develops. Section 5. Change of umpire. Umpires cannot be changed during a game by the consent of the opposing team unless an umpire is incapacitated by injury or illness. Section 6. Umpire's judgments. There shall be no appeal from any decisions of any umpire on the ground that he has not correct in his conclusions as to whether a bat ball was fair or foul, a run safe or out, pitch ball, a strike or ball, or on any play involving occurrence of judgments. In case the manager, captains, or either team does seek a reversal of a decision based solely on the points of the rules, the umpire whose decisions is in question shall, in the dump, confer with his associate before taking any actions. But under the circumstances, shall any player or persons other than the manager or the captain of either team have any legal rights to protest on any decisions and seek its reversal on a claim that it is conflict with these rules. Section 7. Signals. To indicate the play shall begin or be resumed, the umpire shall call play ball, and at the same time motions and pitcher to the delivery ball. A strike shall be indicated by raising the right hand upward, indicating the number of strikes by the fingers, and at the same time calling strike in a clear and decisive voice. To indicate a ball, no arm signal is used. To indicate the total counts of ball and strikes, the ball are called first. To indicate a foul, the umpire shall call foul ball and extend an arm horizontally away from the diamond according to the directions of the ball. To indicate a fair ball, the umpire shall extend an arm toward the center of the diamond using pumping motion. To indicate a batter or runner out, the umpire shall raise the right hand upward above the right shoulder with fist closed. To indicate that a player is safe, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontally to the sides of the body with palms towards the ground. To indicate suspensions of play, the umpire shall call time and at the same time extend both arms above the head. The other umpire should immediately acknowledge the suspensions of play with similar action. To indicate a delayed ball, the umpire shall extend the left arm horizontally with first close. Section 8. Suspension of play. An umpire may suspend play when his judgment conditions justify such action. Play shall be suspended whenever the play's umpire leaves in the positions to brush the plate or to perform other duties not directly connect with the calling or plays. The umpire shall suspend play whenever a batter or pitcher steps out of positions for legitimate reason. An umpire shall not call time after pitcher has started the wind-up. An umpire should not call time while any play in progress. In case of injury, except in the umpire's judgments with a serious injury, which may put the player in a danger, time shall not be called until all plays in progress have been completed or runners have been held at their base. Rule 11. Protest. Section 1. Protests that will not be received. Protests shall not be received or considered if they are based solely on the decisions involving the accuracy of judgments on the part of an umpire, or if the team lodging the protest won the game. Example protests that will not be considered are whether a batter ball was fair or foul, whether a runner was safe or out, whether a pitch ball was a strike or a ball, whether a pitch was legal or illegal, whether a runner did or did not touch a base. Section 2. Protests that will be received. Protests that shall be received and considered include a matter of the following types: misinterpretations of playing rule, failure of an umpire to apply the correct rule to a given situation, failure to impose the correct penalty for a given violations, eligibility of a team roster member. Section 3. Protests involving judgments and interpretations of a rule. Protests may involve both a matter of judgments and interpretations of a rule. An example of situation of this type follows: with one out and the runners on second and third bases, the batter flied out. The runner on third tagged up after the catch. The player on the second did not. The runner on third crossed the plate before the ball was played at second base for the third out. The umpire did not allow the run to score. The questions as to whether the runners left their bases before the catch and whether the play at second was made before the player on third crossed the plate are solely matters of judgment and are not protestable. The failure of the umpire to allow the run to score was a misinterpretation of a playing rule and was a proper subject for protest. Section 4. Notifications of intent to lodge protest. The notifications of intent to protest must be made immediately before the next pitch. Player ineligibility, the manager or acting manager of the protesting team shall immediately notify the plate umpire that the game is being continued under protest. The plate umpire shall in turn notify the opposing manager and official soccer keeper. All interested parties shall take notice of the conditions. Section 5. Time to lodge an official protest. The official written protest must be filed within a reasonable time. In the absence of a league or tournament rule fixing the time limit for filing a protest shall be considered if filed within a reasonable time, depending upon the nature of the case and the difficulties for obtaining the information on which to be based the protest. Within 48 hours after the scheduled time of the contest is generally considered a reasonable time. Section 6. Information required for written protest. The formal written protest shall contain the following information: the date, time, and place of the game, the names of the umpire and scorers, the rules of sections of the official rules or local rules under which the protest is made, the decisions and conditions surrounding the making of the decisions, all essential facts involved in matter protested. Section 7. Result of protest. The decisions made on a protest game must result in one of the following: the protest is found invalid and the game score stands as played. When a protest is allowed for misinterpretations of a playing rule, the game is played from the points of which the incorrect decisions was made, with the decisions corrected. When a protest for ineligibility of a team roster member is allowed, the game shall be forfeited by the offending team.